everybody, my name is Carol Mack. This tutorial will help you identify protected health information. The crux of HIPAA compliance is knowing how to segregate PHI. The definition of protected health information is a general provision of Part 160. PHI is individually identifiable health information that's collected from an individual and is created, received, transmitted, or maintained by a covered entity. IIHI and PHI are interchangeable terms. IIHI is a subset of PHI. PHI relates to an individual's health conditions, medical services, or payments, and the information is sufficient to identify someone. Identifiable means there's a reasonable basis to believe the information can be used to identify the individual. PHI includes electronic media and other forms of media, including paper, audio recordings, and digital images. Health information is broadly defined. It could be a paramedic's assessment or records for dispensing prescription products. PHI excludes education records because those are covered by FERPA. PHI also excludes employment records held by a covered entity in its role as an employer. PHI also excludes health information about a person who is deceased for more than 50 years. Now we'll explore the boundaries of PHI in Single Peak, California. The town of Single Peak attracts a lot of tourists in the winter. During the ski season, the Pruitt Medical Group sees a lot of orthopedic injuries. During that time of year, Priscilla Pruitt and her husband Hudson enjoy eating out at the ski lodge. It's not unusual for them to see patients at the restaurant. One evening, Priscilla and Hudson's dinner was interrupted by Officer Oliver.
Doctors, I need your advice. One of the guests jumped into the pool, and then he got chest pains. And the manager dialed 911, but the man won't talk to paramedics. He says his name is John Doe?
I'll see what I can do to help.
Eventually, Priscilla convinced John to get a checkup. The admitting clerk gave John some documents to sign.
I don't want my name listed in the facility directory. Don't contact my insurance company either. Put the bill on my credit card.
The privacy rule requires entities to restrict disclosures of PHI if the patient makes the request and pays in full. John Doe was evaluated and cleared for discharge.
Thank you, Doctor. I appreciate you keeping this private. Now I can enjoy the rest of my weekend.
Officer Oliver wrote the police report and then he wondered if John Doe was okay. He showed up at the hospital, but the admitting clerk wouldn't disclose any information.
Where's the hospital privacy officer? I want to talk to her.
Is there a problem?
I was wondering about the guy who jumped in the ice water. How's he doing? Is he okay?
The patient did not give the hospital permission to disclose PHI. Is there an imminent threat?
I was just curious. Is the patient still in the hospital?
I'm not at liberty to say. His location is protected health information.
His location? Are you kidding?
We're honoring the patient's request to not release that information.
Meanwhile, John was looking to get a good cup of coffee. He was grateful that HIPAA was protecting his privacy. But John Doe didn't know that his story had already leaked out. A newspaper photographer saw him jump into the pool. The next day, John saw his picture on the front page.
Oh no! My privacy has been violated. I'm going to call a lawyer. Could I speak with the attorney, please?
Yes, I see the article. Now I see why you're so upset. But I'm afraid your case doesn't amount to a lawsuit.
What do you mean? Doesn't HIPAA protect my privacy?
HIPAA protects an individual person who is the subject of protected health information. HIPAA protects health information that was created or received by a HIPAA-covered entity. Reporters are not HIPAA-covered entities, so your story isn't protected health information.
Protected health information is individually identifiable health information that's created, received, transmitted, or maintained by a covered entity. Thanks for joining me in this tutorial. Now I want you to meet my colleagues, Roman Diaz, President of Touchtone Compliance, and Karen Darnall of Darnall Law Office.
We made these tutorials to help you learn about HIPAA and California law. For individual attention, go to our contact page. You can send us a message or schedule a consultation.
And I'm Roman Diaz, President of Touchtone Compliance. Our online tools and expert services provide everything you need to successfully address HIPAA compliance. We identify vulnerabilities, provide a thorough risk analysis, and assist with mitigation plans, policies and procedures, and staff training.